One of the things that could hitch a ride, I suppose, on the appropriation bills is the establishment of a fiscal commission to look at the long term. I know the Bipartisan Policy Center has been generally supportive of that idea. What is your current thinking on a fiscal commission?
Bob, we have to, of course, allude to your leadership and BPC's past efforts on our work on back in 2010 on our debt reduction task force. Yes, as you state, BPC is structurally supportive of a fiscal commission. Of course, we do think that there are some elements that can help lawmakers really find you know ensure that a fiscal commission is set up for success. I think that in the current, when we're looking at so just to give the audience a bit of a background, there have been kind of twin bills that have been introduced in both the House and the Senate this past fall. The Fiscal Commission Act, which was introduced in the House by Representative Scott Peters and Bill Huizenga, and the Fiscal Stability Act by Senators Joe Manchin and Mitt Romney, and with several co-sponsors across the aisle on both bills. These are really looking to establish new commissions that seek to address our unsustainable fiscal trajectory. Now, I think that as we're looking to their chance of passage right now, I think it's a little bit too early. We're still seeing that there are some internal discussions and negotiations happening as the appropriations process makes their way. I think that there could be a moment for them to hitch a ride on current CR language, but it's just a little bit too early to tell. But I think what would be really important for these fiscal commissions, and again, this is kind of based on BPC's experience leading a debt reduction task force last decade and our past efforts kind of supporting fiscal commissions. But I think that for one to have momentum in 2024, they really need to focus on bringing in the American public. Really ensuring that folks understand what is our debt challenge? How does this impact American households, American businesses? Really identifying why our debt is a problem and how it could impact our economy, our national security, our global standing. And then together, really having policymakers come to the table to kind of identify those principles that both sides of the aisle can agree on to addressing the debt, such as, it's important that we recognize that we can't just grow our way out, that we have to talk about revenue generation as well, as an example, and really tasking lawmakers with policy options, not just a race to find $7 trillion of cuts and only looking at the non-discretionary side of the budget equation, but really recognizing that there can be success can be defined in many different ways, doesn't necessarily have to be rushing to vote on a debt reduction package. And so, I'm optimistic that there are conversations continuing in Congress over a fiscal commission. BPC will continue kind of to be supportive of those efforts,